back to my channel, WinterMotors. My name is Sean Winter, your friendly neighborhood outlaw, and today is finally the day where I'm able to change the oil in the rat bike. I managed to scrape together enough money to buy myself some fish oil to go into the bike. For those of you who don't watch every episode and didn't get that joke, I'm using Castrol Power One 10W40. This is a 4-liter jug, and that should be enough for my 2011 Triumph America, aka the Rat, that one over there. I've never changed the oil in this bike, which means that it really needs it. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so here we are in front of the engine. Now the oil goes in here. You have to open this little knob here and then fill the oil. But obviously you have to drain it, and the drain plug is underneath the bike. I'm gonna see if I can get a shot of that. But my problem is, and yes, I've already run into a problem. I also want to change the oil filter on the bike. Now, I don't have to change the oil filter, but you should change the oil filter when you change the oil. I thought the original oil filter was on this, which has like a knob for a screwdriver or like a wrench or whatever. It looks like this. But the one that's on here does not, and I don't have a tool to get it off, so I'll have to try and pry it off with my hands, which will probably take forever, and I don't even know if I can do it. The oil filter is here. This one there, that's the oil filter, if you wonder. I have to try and get that thing off. And the screw for the oil pan should be in over here.
It is that bolt right there that you have to unscrew, and that will dump all the oil out.
When you want to do an oil change job like this, make sure that you get an oil pan. I got this one for 15 bucks, Euro bucks off Amazon, and this should work great because you can close it all up and bring it to somewhere where you can dump the oil, because you don't want to dump the oil over your floor. Yeah, just saying. Well, you can do it if you want, but I suggest you don't. And the good thing about this is that it has a little like sieve here, so you won't lose any bolts or anything like this when you unscrew the thing and dump the oil. You need a 13mm socket or a 13mm one of these bad boys. Also, if you have the possibility to lift the bike up to do this, then take that possibility. I don't have that, so I gotta try and get under there. It's pretty tight, so yeah, keep that in mind if you wanna do that yourself. And also, it's a good idea to get gloves for this, but I don't have that, so. Okay, got it loose. Bolts in there. Okay. Alright. Now you see, old, gooey, nasty oil is coming out of there. I have an issue. This doesn't drain fast enough. So this is why you should have gloves for this. Got my finger in there, and I'm gonna be covered in oil after this. Satan. Fucking hell. If I knew this was gonna be such a workout, holy shit. Whew. It's cold in the garage. I'm warm now and covered in oil. But this didn't go as smooth as I hoped. But it went. Okay, before I continue trying to take that oil filter out and then refill the oil, I'm having a wee beer break. Here goes. First beer break of the day. Will probably not be the last. If you want to be the next one to buy me a beer and get pointed at with a knife, the link is in the description down below.
Off camera, I tried to get the oil filter off, but there was just no way I can get off with my hands. So I'm taking my beer for a walk, and I gotta go down to a motorcycle parts store that's down the road. Now they're not open because the corona, but I called. I just thought, you know what? Let's just see what happens if I call them. Sure enough, he picked up, told him what I needed, and he said I can go pick it up. They're closed, but I can pick it up out of their warehouse door. So That was really, really fucking lucky. And yeah, I forgot to say what I'm picking up. I'm picking up one of these like keys, kind of they go around like the oil filter, and you can get it off with a spanner. And I'm taking a page out of Nice Pants Lance's book and wearing sunglasses, even though it's not necessary.
But this thing should get that thing off in no time. I would have never been able to get that off my bare hands, like never ever. Here we go, come on. Come loose. Alright. And I got oil all over myself. Once again. Perfect. Oh man, I can't wait for this job to be over. Such a simple thing. Just such a fucking mess. I'm unscrewing the oil cap now, like where the new oil goes in. Just using a coin. Because as you can see, the slot's very coin receiving. What I need to do first is to put the oil filter in, because or else the oil runs straight through the bike. That is a mistake. That it happens. Okay, if it happened to you, or if it's happened to you in the past, or will happen to you in the future, don't worry about it. It happens. But it's just shit, because then you need more oil. Because this bike needs 3.8 liters of oil, and I have 4 liters of oil. I'm first gonna like prime this thing, put a little bit of oil into the oil filter, then screw it on, and then fill up the bike. I just realized that I forgot to show you which oil filter I'm using. Hilfo filter HF204. Get yourself a funnel if you want. In my case, I'm using an old iced tea bottle. Not recommended. It doesn't really fit that well. I just need to go really slow. Keep my eye on it. So here we go. Oil. Now I got 3 liters in there. I got 1 left, obviously. The way you can check if you can't measure out exactly, like me, I can't measure it exactly 8. That's necessary. You can use the eye measure in the bike, so you can see how much you have. You want the level to be on the middle of the eye, like the glass that's there. So let's have a look, and then we just fill a little bit more.
As you can see, here's where you fill the oil, and the leveler is right there. So then you have to straighten out your bike, obviously, and you can see what your levels are. So surprisingly, when I look at it, it looks to be there already, but that doesn't really make sense because I don't have 3.8 liters in. I just got 3. But I also primed the oil filter. That also might make a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the bike just real quick.
Yep, and just as I thought, now I'm not on level anymore. So I run it through a little bit, fill a little bit more oil, and then check the level, and then run it again. The reason you want to get the level right is that if you have too little oil, it's too little oil. Your gears might grind and might fuck up the interiors of the engine. And if you have too much oil, you might blow the oil gasket, and yeah, you don't want to do that because you have to fix it. So you have to get your levels right, and you do that this way. Make sure that thing's on. I'm gonna need some more. You gotta put that cap on. I didn't do that, now it's all over the place. So since half the oil is all over my bike now, I'm gonna put a little bit more in, but just a little. When you change the oil like this, there will still be old oil inside of the bike. That's why I also put on a new oil filter. But I mean, the majority of the oil is new oil, so I want to get the new oil to go through the system. So I'm going to run the bike a little warm.
go right in the middle, just where you want it to be. That means I have enough oil, plus some oil all over the engine. But yeah, it doesn't hurt the bike.
So that's how you change the oil in the Triumph America, and also how you don't change the oil in the Triumph America. So you got best of both worlds. That was a fucking messy job. And I mean, that was kind of my fault. It's not the bike's fault that it was a mess. I was a mess. But fish oil has been added to the bike. She's happy now. She's had a full blood transfusion. And beer has been drunk by me. I haven't had a blood transfusion, but maybe I need that one day if I keep drinking like I do. And the only thing left to do is to thank you for watching another video here at WinterMotors. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below maybe about how stupid I am for forgetting to put that cap on. But until next time, bye-bye.